there, friend. Welcome or welcome back. I'm Monica Brooks, a multi-passionate entrepreneur who at times still has no idea what I'm doing with my life, but I choose to show up and keep going each and every day. I'm a former corporate girl who thrives on leadership, improving my life, and I love talking with people. On this podcast, you'll hear stories from people who will inspire you and challenge you to grow in ways that may feel a little uncomfortable. Whether it's by starting your own business, learning how to fail and fail fast, growing within a company, or maybe even showing a little bit of grit in life, you'll hear from an array of people that will leave you inspired and encouraged. Out of all the podcasts that are available, I'm glad you chose to listen to this episode today. Let's get started.
Hey there, friend. Welcome back. It's Monica Brooks. I am currently fighting a little bit of a cold, but on the bright side, here in Ohio, the weather has been in the 70s. You will likely hear lawnmowers going off in the background, cars zipping by. But I wanted to take some time to talk to you about a conference I just attended last week. It was a conference where I was able to be a speaker. I was so excited to be invited back. Leadership is my jam. I love talking about it. But there was just something really interesting that I noticed at this conference that I want to share with you today. So on Tuesday morning, I participated in this leadership panel, and there were questions coming through from the audience, and then there was a question that was directed specifically to me. And the question was, how did I go about leaving my job and starting my own business? And I really wish I had this great answer in order to help and guide other people, but I'm going to be honest with you. I didn't really have a plan. But what I did have is I had enough belief in myself that what I was doing day in and day out on my 9 to 5, that I was just meant for more. And it's not that there's anything wrong with that. Like, I would have continued to do it if that were living my passion, but it wasn't. And so I asked the audience the question, what's the one thing you can talk about all day? Like, that is your passion. And why I want to share this with you is because I had people come up to me afterward because they know that their passion is more. Someone came up and said, I want to work with young girls to help their self-esteem, to help them through all the things that we're going through. And I'm like, yes, if you're passionate about it, you can make it happen. There was someone else that came up to me and said, like, I want to do what you're doing. I want to inspire and help people. And I feel so moved that people would want to come up to me and tell me that. But let me tell you, like, I don't have this figured out. I don't, but I keep showing up, just as I say in my intro. Like, I am further along today than I was a year ago, but I still feel like I haven't made very many big steps. But the big steps aren't as important as the little steps you take every day. And for me, unfortunately, my big wake-up call was my own cancer diagnosis in 2018. And that's when I realized, or I started to realize, like, how fragile we are, how our time is so limited. And I didn't want to spend another hour working a job that wasn't filling my cup. When I was finished speaking at this conference, I walked back to my room, and as I was walking down the hallway, I was just smiling so big. And that's when I knew I was in my Dharma. I first heard about this word Dharma from Jay Shetty in his book, Think Like a Monk. And he talks about your natural talents and your passion. And he says, when your natural talents and passions connect with what the universe needs and become your purpose, you're living in your Dharma. Living in your Dharma is a certain route to fulfillment. He goes on to say that once you have a sense of your Dharma, it's up to you to set up your life so that you can live in it. In his book, Think Like a Monk, on page 103, if you happen to have this book or you want to go ahead and purchase it, I'll put a link below. He has this quadrant of potential. Now pay attention to these 4 quadrants and see where you're at today. Quadrant 1 is having the skill but no passion. Quadrant 2 is the skill and the passion. Quadrant 3 is no skill and no passion. And quadrant 4 is no skill, but passion. And he asked the question, how can you move more of your time and energy towards section 2? Again, section 2 was skill and passion. It's going to be where you're doing the things that you are good at and you love. And I just feel like after this conference, there was such a need for so many of us to find that Dharma. What are we passionate about? What can we talk about all day? Because my cup was full. Even though I was tired, my brain had been going nonstop, I walked back to my hotel room with a huge cheesy smile on my face. And I knew that was Dharma. So what is your passion? Again, what can you talk about all day? When I had some time to talk with some of the attendees, I just asked the question, like, who else is doing this? Like, who can you look at as a model for how you want your business to look? You might say, well, it's oversaturated. There's so many coaches. There's so many. No, stop. That's an excuse, because there is no one like you that can do it the way that you can, that can inspire people, that can help people, whatever it may be. I encourage you to explore who else is doing it. What do you want to accomplish? How can it help others? Even start with some of the fun things. What would you call your business? Heck, go ahead and create an Instagram or a Facebook handle, a Twitter handle, a TikTok handle, whatever you want. You can start taking steps today to find your Dharma, to feel amazing at the end of a workday. I am a perfect example that you don't have to have it all figured out to get started. You just have to take one step more than you did yesterday. And with that, my friend, I will end today's podcast. I hope you found it inspiring, helpful, and I will talk to you soon.